What's going on, YouTube? It is Trev. This is probably my second or third time recording this video. I actually recorded it and uploaded it and everything. Then I realized that I said something absolutely wrong, deleted it, and here it is again. Anyway, so I want to show you this Shibarium early beta test is live. All right, so a couple days ago we put out a video and I am 99.9% sure it was the first video to come out and show this Shibarium beta, right? Something happened. We don't know what. I'm not getting, nobody's getting us any word on exactly what happened. Satoshi doesn't seem to be speaking on it. I don't know that he won't, because I don't see that it was a big deal. But for some reason, for like 12 hours, this beta went live. And due to, I guess it was chatted about maybe here or there. And somebody sent me the links and said, hey, guess what, right? So immediately jumped on and made a video about it, and we looked at this a couple days ago, this Shibarium beta, right? Also the faucet and how you could, get test tokens. We looked at the whole thing already, right? A lot of you saw it. That was probably to date my highest viewed video. So a lot of you have already seen this. And it's funny because a lot of people in the comment section were saying that's a scam. That's not real. That's not really it, right? Shortly after I put it out, I was contacted by Asobs, another very popular YouTuber, actually. We chatted quickly about it, and he went on and he did his DD, and he put out a video immediately, and he dove into it even a little deeper than I did. Just really to confirm that what we were looking at was actually real, right? It wasn't because it was a scam one, a couple of scam ones, I think, that were actually out there. But what we put out there wasn't it. What we put out there was this. And so I saw, maybe a couple hours ago, I don't know, this tweet from Satoshi saying that it was live now. And I went back to the tab that I originally had open when we showed this to you a couple days ago, and clicked on it, and all of a sudden it's working, right? Because it was working. Then when I woke up in the morning, it was working, and then boom, it wasn't working, right? And now the very same tab is working again, which just really conclusively proves that what we showed you was actually this. Now, again, did it get leaked? Did somebody do that on purpose? Was it an accident? Somebody hit the wrong button? Somebody activated the wrong line of code? Whatever it was, things like that happen. It's unfortunate, I guess, from the standpoint of Satoshi and wanting to, have some grand launch of this thing, but to just ignore that it happened is a little strange, right? Why not just say, hey, hey, this is what happened. I mean, we didn't mean for it, but here's the official announcement, and, now you've got it, and it's open for you, and you can play with it, and, whatever, right? I don't really see why not do that, but who knows? Maybe we'll get that. So anyway, I just want to read through this really, really quickly. Everyone has been waiting for this for a long time, and I am a little unclear as to the wording here where it says Shibarium early beta test is live. Usually when we think of a beta, we think of an actually fully functioning product that is released maybe to a certain amount of users for a certain amount of time to work out bugs and stuff. Is this pre that? Or I'm not sure, because it also refers to it just as Shibarium beta in here too. So a little unsure. I do know that this is not going to burn any SHIB, and it won't be doing that until I guess it goes on mainnet. Is probably what's going on. All right, so I'm going to read through this. Understand that anything on this channel, anything I ever say is never financial advice, not a financial advisor. For entertainment purposes only, this is my opinion on things. If I give my opinion on something, and take it with a grain of salt and do your own research. All right, so today we begin the early beta test of Shibarium Network, which we call PuppyNet. And we also showed you PuppyNet a couple days ago, right? Because you were able to mint or whatever you want to call it. So from the faucet, you were able to get some of these test tokens, and then you were to click on it, and it would bring you to this PuppyNet, and it would show you it. Anyway, it was all real, and I'm dying to find out what happened. Okay. Enough harping on that. Today, more than ever, we see the need for a truly decentralized L2 network that powers the projects of a large, global, decentralized community, as is now on display for the world to see. For too long, Shibarians have been subject to outdated systems and methods of control that harm Shibkind. Luckily, Shibarium is the opportunity to change that, and today we take another step in the direction of freedom and righteous planet. As we talked about in a previous video, Shibarium is more than a blockchain. Shibarium is actually going to save the world. This is awesome. Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of grandiose. I mean, whatever. How, you ask? Well, today we begin the early beta test of Shibarium network, which we call PuppyNet. As we've mentioned many times, Shibarium is a layer 2 blockchain that allows anyone to build dApps, integrate into RL businesses, and power projects with it. It is low cost, burns SHIB in the process, and is being adjusted as the beta test continues over the next few months. So a bit of a time frame here, right? Over the next few months, we know that, few could mean really anything, but, probably 3 months or more. Who knows, right? It really could mean anything. But this isn't going to be a quick thing. We're not going to mainnet quickly. If anyone is looking for, when is this going to stop burning SHIB? When are we going to know exactly what the gas fees are? When are we going to know what percentage of those gas fees? There's a lot of documentation yet to come out. There's still a lot of information that we need, but this is a step in that direction. There were many people who really were beginning to think that there was no Shibarium, that it was all just a ruse. This, I guess, at least proves or disproves that theory. And so we can get away from that and maybe just concentrate on, okay, what exactly is this going to do? Okay, Shibarium is only limited by the imagination, as anyone can build on the Shibarium network. In fact, for the TLDR people, this is an open early beta test, so go ahead. You can access it now here, and there's a link, right? Shibarium official RPC website is available, another link. Now, although anyone can build on the Shibarium network, as we have stated, we understand that some prefer a red carpet experience and top-notch support. For those individuals, businesses, and projects, we suggest filling out the Shibarium technology intake form here. And that's actually been, if it's the same form that I'm thinking of, it's been released for a little while. So I guess there are going to be different levels here. I mean, you can build on it and kind of do it yourself, right? Go at your own. But if you want the red carpet treatment from this ecosystem development team and support and everything else, then you fill out this intake form. I don't know if there's a fee for that. I don't know. It's all more information to get as we go. Maybe somebody already knows. For those who wish to be validators, next week the documentation will follow so you can set up a test node. For all other devs, go ahead, grab some test bone, and give it a go. Give me a second. Let me look at something here. Go to this. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let me see if I can drag this over. I can drag this over for you. So, I had, I had already, when we looked at this a couple days ago, right, when it was released by mistake, I had already linked my fake wallet, my test wallet, and when I went back into it today, it was already connected and everything. So again, it was absolutely that site. But anyway, so becoming a validator, becoming a delegator, choose your path, all these things, all validators. Let me see if so it gives you kind of a list of validators here. There's a few of them, 1 through 6 or something like that. I don't know. So here's a name on 1 or 2 here. Some of them actually have names. So it looks like there are some actual validators already kind of up and running. So I'm not sure exactly what this is talking about when it says that the next week the documentation will follow. I don't know. We'll see what they send out next week. So a few things to remember before we begin. SHIB burns will depend on the transactions in the network. To keep track, we will have a running chart for burnt SHIB on the burn portal. That's awesome. That's good to hear. This is part of the beta testing for Shibarium network. So when exactly that's going to happen, again, we're not getting any dates. When it says this is part of the beta testing for Shibarium network, I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean that this will go up on the burn portal and we will see actual real burns from this test? It's a little confusing to me, so I'm looking forward to maybe getting some clarification on that. All tokens on PuppyNet are not real. Don't spend your hard-earned SHIB on these tokens if you see them, no matter how hard anyone shills. So there might be people out there saying, we can sell you some of these testnet tokens, right? And asking you to pay for them, I guess, in real SHIB. But the thing is, those testnet tokens, like it says, they're not real. You can't cash them in for anything. I was even confused about that because I could have sworn that I had heard something, but you hear things all the time, right? But we get the official word. They're not real. They're not going to have any value beyond testnet. So don't go spending real money on them or real tokens or whatever. DYOR, even now, there are many tokens and projects that are being set up by less than perfect personalities, and many will not survive. Do your own research before doing anything, and watch for those who carry the SHIB banner, but speak of other projects. I think we know directly who this is referring to, and I'm not going to drop any names. If you've been paying attention to this, you know what we're talking about. There are those who still have a connection to SHIB, who have always had a connection to SHIB, maybe working on some other things, and so they're trying to say that. I guess what Shaitoshi's trying to say is that the actual team is going to be pushing this ecosystem stuff and not any other product under the guise of working for SHIB. But the problem that I have with that is that SHIB is not, and I've said this a million times at this point, SHIB is not owned by anyone. So just because this ecosystem, this development team uses the SHIB logo, uses the SHIB name, calls themselves and equates themselves with SHIB, they are not SHIB. Anybody can claim SHIB just as they have, right? They do not own SHIB. They do not control SHIB. No control of the contract. If they want to burn SHIB, they've got to buy SHIB first and then burn it, right? So anybody can jump under the SHIB banner and develop if they want to, or they can even say that they're related to SHIB. This is a bit much for me. And the funny thing is, in the past, I think Shaitoshi himself has said, oh yeah, anybody can build on SHIB. So I'm not sure what this is right here. Anyway, all right. Over the beta, it'll become more apparent. Oh, all right. No, let me back up a little bit. DYOR, blah, 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 blah. Carry the SHIB banner, but speak of other projects. Why not just carry your own banner? Let this be the first step in your own research. Well, my question to Shaitoshi and to this team is, why don't you carry your own banner? Right? You're not SHIB, right? You're not SHIB. Let's be honest. You're not SHIB. So why don't you carry like a bone banner or a leash banner or something like that and still work with SHIB, right? It's very misleading, in all honesty, to say that we're the only ones who have the right to carry the SHIB banner. You really don't. And that's not being an asshole. That's just being legitimate about it. Shibarium has 2 Twitter accounts, Shibarium Net and Shibarium Tech. The Shibarium Tech account, I believe, is kind of a new account, and it seems to have come about right around the same time that some other team members were brought on and kind of maybe formed a new team. I'm not sure exactly how that structure goes, but what we've heard is that some people who actually worked for the team at one time and who were investigated for maybe some nefarious acts and asked to leave the team maybe have been brought back again. And maybe it's these people who are now this Shibarium tech. I'm speculating, right? So hopefully we get clarification. Over the beta, it'll become more apparent the difference between the two. Okay. But they work in tandem to give an outstanding experience to the Shibarians. For those who already filled out the Shibarium technology intake form, look for mass email today. And there's some pictures here, and they go into talking about the metaverse and stuff. And I mean, these are beautiful graphics. If this is what it's going to look like, I mean, that's impressive. Okay. Finally, to dispel some FUD, the biggest FUD and fudder goes to a dude making a competing product trying to convince you that SBF is Ryoshi. I know exactly what he's talking about. Just a few days ago, last week, in Matthew Perry's live stream, we were inundated with, and it could have been one person, right? But it seemed like it was a few different accounts who were trying to spin this narrative of, oh, did you hear this one's YouTube video? They said that SBF is Ryoshi, and Shytoshi is this, Shytoshi's that, Ryoshi's this, Ryoshi's that, and they were trying to get everybody to look at this video that equated SBF with Ryoshi or SBF with Shiba Inu in some fashion, right? It got to the point where it was annoying, and as a moderator in that chat, in that live stream, I did warn them and say, okay, I mean, that's your opinion, and we've heard it. You've said it quite a few times. Now let's just kind of let it be, because this isn't really about SBF here today, right? They persisted. I timed them out. Then, there's another account talking about it. So is it one person that came back with a different account, or was there a group of people trying to work on this? I don't know what they're trying to do, but when I read this, all of a sudden it made sense to me. Okay, so this was some sort of scam that someone has been trying to perpetrate, and they're trying to spin this narrative. So yes, be very careful of any offshoots, any copycats, anything like that. You have, with this video, you have in Shytoshi's tweet, right? The real Shytoshi. Make sure you're looking at the real Shytoshi. An easy way is to look at the people that follow him, right? Because if he's followed by people that are part of the team, that's an easy way to tell it's a real Shytoshi. But also, just read the name, look for differences, an I to an L, whatever, right? There's a lot of scammers out there, and you really need to be careful. Do your own research, but do your due diligence. Be very, very careful before you connect a wallet to anything, okay? All right. Anyway, now the team and everyone that ever saw Ryoshi post is done laughing, let's give two pieces of meme evidence that this is not the case. And I don't know if these things are necessarily evidence. They're kind of subjective, but okay. So Ryoshi was a big fan of wrestling, WWF wrestling to be specific. He chose gifs of people like Macho Man Randy Savage and Ric Flair. At one point, we even considered getting Ric Flair for a Shib commercial. SBF wasn't even born at this time, so how could he even know how to step into a Slim... Actually, it's not step into a Slim Jim. I'm fairly sure it was snap into a Slim Jim. So maybe you weren't born at that time either. I don't know. Anyway, you've got to be probably in your 40s, mid 40s or whatever to even get these references. I don't even think WWF is called WWF anymore. I think it's called something else now. And these Ric Flair and Macho Man Randy Savage, these were older time wrestlers in that organization. So it makes me wonder how old Ryoshi actually is. All right. More importantly, Ryoshi, as seen in his posts, was not a fan of CEXs. and would never have run one himself. Do better, fudders, do better. Well, no, we don't want the fudders to do better. We want them to continue to be dumbasses so that they're easily spotted. So as we continue forward and our former and new friends attempt to attack the army, produce new FUD, and even your projects, stay strong. We are builders. We are building for a better future. Woo! Ric Flair voice again. You gotta know exactly what that is. All right, so this is this. It's out. You can go, you can play with it. Make sure that I recommend doing what I did. Make a test wallet with nothing in it, okay? And use that wallet to play around with this. Do not connect any wallet that you have that actually has any assets in it. That would be foolish. And as we get more information, sometimes things get slid to me here and there. We will get that out to you ASAP. All right, stay safe. Have a good weekend. Ciao.